How about today we learn to use Excel scripts with Power Automate? All right, all the time I get asked crazy questions. Can I do X or Y with Power Apps or Power Automate against Excel? And I used to always answer no. And then for some weird reason yesterday, I got the idea of like, what about these Excel script things? Like, what do they do? So I popped open ChatGPT, did a little this, a little that, and now all of a sudden I have built a really amazing flow. So I'm going to show you what the flow, I'm going to walk you through the process. I'm even going to show you my ChatGPT conversation so you can see how I figured out how to do something that I literally didn't know 48 hours ago. Sound like fun? Then let's just switch over to my desktop and take a look. Okay, so over here in my SharePoint site, I've got a CSV file that I've uploaded, and it is just a bunch of ordered data, right? So it came out of our ERP system, our invoice processing system, right? We've done this with timesheet data, but whatever, we got a CSV file, which yes, is helpful, but not often if we want to use it with Power Automate, because there's no real way to just be like, hey, process my CSV. So we got to get it into Excel so we can play with it. So there's my CSV file, just sitting there in my SharePoint site. We'll close that. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the Excel file, and then we're going to go up here and we're going to say automate. And then there should be just a moment here, Excel order processing. So this is a flow that I built where the trigger is for a selected item in SharePoint. So we're going to click on that. Now it's going to process and it's going to say, okay, I need to get Shane's tokens and I'm going to need to get some input from him. So here you go. It's like, hey, what do you want to name the table? And we're going to say demo 1. I don't know, right? Let's just go with something simple to start. And we'll just say run the flow. Okay. It says, hey, that is off and running. And so now we're going to wait like 30 seconds. 50, never mind. We're done, right? So look. What it did was it took that CSV data and it created a new Excel file. It pulled in that data, then it put a table on it so that we would then have access, right? So if we click here, not only is it an XLSX file, but it's actually a table, right? So table designer, and there's our demo 1 name that we created. All right. We've got the columns in here. It put a little bit of color formatting on it, but also because we like to have fun, I also want to make sure that that data got put into the invoices from Excel SharePoint list. So if we just do a refresh here, look at that. There is all of my SharePoint data, or all the data into SharePoint, all the different column types. We got date columns and number columns and currency columns and a choices column, all of that data. So there you go. What we're going to walk you through now is how I built all that. So let's start at the beginning. So if we jump over here to Power Automate, the first thing we have is a manual trigger. And we just set it to our SharePoint site and then to our library Excel files. And then what you've got here, my table name. So this is the input, right? I clicked on add an input and I did text. Now keep in mind these 4 selected item flows, they have to be built in your default environment in order for them to show up in SharePoint. So keep that in mind, little caveat there, I forgot, but I remembered in time to tell you. So there you go, there's one, that's the trigger. So then the second thing we do here is we get file content of the CSV. So we're just going to say, hey, take the file. Oh, I've got the file hard-coded here. I cheated. All right, well, let's fix our flow real quick. Instead of being hard-coded to the file, oopsie, let's delete that out. Let's change this to dynamic content. And we just want the ID, the file identifier of the file we did. Okay, so we run this, make sure this all still works, but there you go. So that's what we're doing. Whatever file they selected, get the file contents. We are then also going to go down here and get file content of a template file. So sitting in here, and this one is meant to be hard-coded, is a file called template file XLSX. It is a completely blank Excel file with the one caveat that if you click here on automate, then we look here under all scripts. Here we have the different scripts. And so I created one called combine script, which combines creating a table and the CSV stuff that I've been worked on, right? And so this is the script that is we're going to process in a minute. We're not going to look at it yet because we're not ready to. I just want you to see that template is just a blank file with the scripts packaged in it. So we're going to get the file content of that. The reason that we want to get the file content of that, so that one should be static, is then we want to create a file from the template file, right? Like there's not an action that says convert a CSV to XLSX. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new Excel file from that template. So if you look at create file, it's like, hey, do it in the folder path, that's my document library, Excel files. And then here for the file name, you've got format, date, time. And so this is just an expression to take the current date and time and put it in the format of month, day, year, hours, minutes, seconds. And the whole idea there is I just wanted a way to make sure that all my file names were unique. So I'm appending that to the front of it because it's going to be that dash invoice.xlsx, right? If we go back over here and look again, there's the date and the time and then invoice XLSX. Okay, so we've got all that. Now, if we go back over here, and then here for the file content in the creating, we're just using the file content from our template file. So that way it's that blank Excel file with just those scripts in it, because we need those scripts. So that's all that's doing. So thus far, right, very simple actions. So then I had to learn some new stuff. I wanted to take that CSV file, the other file, and I want to take that CSV data and ingest it in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use an Excel script. And so to run the script, it's super simple. We'll come back to this in a second, but what we really need to go back to do is go look at the template file. So in the template file over here on the right, we have our Excel script. And so if we click on this and then we say edit code, hey, if you're enjoying this, be sure to check out our training over at training.powerapps911.com. We've got on-demand classes, we got live classes, we got a 6-month university program. We can do private classes. We teach AI, Power Apps, Power Automate. We got a Power Pages live class coming up. Copilot training. I don't even know. Like, we've got all the different Power Platform stuff you want to learn. So just go check it out. Training.powerapps911.com. We're going to be able to see the code. I don't know if I can, I can make this bigger. I didn't know that. I learned something new. And so in here, we've got a bunch of functions, right? So Excel scripts, if you're not familiar with them, they use a form of JavaScript called TypeScript in order to do activities, but they only work inside the workbook that you're on. Like, so I said, hey, can this TypeScript rename the Excel file? No, right? I can only change it inside the file, but it can do things like take parameters. So in our case, we're going to give it CSV text as a parameter, right? We're going to pass that text in, it's going to, and then we're going to loop through all that and create a bunch of rows over here, or rows and columns of that data. And then once it's done that, right? And so that's where it's going through, it's doing the looping. Then it's going to go find the range that we just used, and it's going to convert that to a table. And then the table name, if you look way back up here, the table name was also a parameter that we passed in. Now, if you're standing there going, Shane, I'm not a developer. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not either, right? I've never written a line of C# code. I've never written a line of TypeScript, right? I've copied and pasted. I've never written it. So what did I do? What I needed to do was I needed to open up ChatGPT. So here's what I did. I just asked it, please help me create an SLX file with some sample data. It should be 10 rows of fake order date, maybe roughly 10 columns, including number, date, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I had it do that. So I wanted a file to play with, right? And so it made a file. I can't stress this enough. I love this feature. Just make me some files so I got some real sample data. So then I said, all right, I want to try out this run script under the Excel online business actions. Can you tell me about it? And explains to me how it worked. Went through there. Yeah. Don't really care. And then I was like, all right, can the script dynamically find the range of populated cells and turn them into a table? Because that's always been a challenge, right? I was like, how do I figure out what rows and columns did they use in the CSV so I can just flip the switch and make it a table? And it said, here's your script example. And so it gave me the code to do this. So then I'm like, all right, I don't know what to do with that. So I went down there. Cool. How do I add that to my Excel? I don't know. I've never done this before, right? Like I said, 48 hours ago, 36 hours ago, I don't know, not very long ago, I learned how to do this. So it told me what to do step by step, told me to put the code in, where to put it in, and then it said, run the stuff. Okay. And then I said, oh, look, I got an error message. Line 17, table get style is not a function. It's like, oh, look, so I guess there's an issue. Well, yeah, duh. And so it said, hey, here's a different way of going after that. I just copied the code over there into the little editor, tried it out. Right. And here, let's just show you exactly what I did. Right. So over here, I went to automate. I said new script, and then whatever code it gave me, right, I would just paste it in here and say save script. Right. That's what I was doing over and over and over again. We did that. And then I'm like, oh, whoops, I lost my Excel file. Can we get another one of those? So it's like, here's the link. That worked. Yay. So then I got curious. I'm like, hey, there's another action I see out there, run script from a SharePoint library. So over in Power Automate, right? So we had run script. We also had one called run script from SharePoint library. It was very similar, but I was like, what's the difference with that one? And so what it basically explained to me was that that is the ability that you could have a pre-packaged little file. So if you look back in my document library, I have this OSTS file. Never heard of OSTS files. Well, now I have. I had this little file, and so I could run that script directly. Interesting. I thought that was kind of cool. So let's go back over here. And so it explained how to do that, explained how to get it. So then I switched topics on again. I probably didn't. I'm surprised I didn't get confused. I shouldn't have done this, but I was like, hey, I want a CSV file now. I want to play with CSV files because my head was starting to really spin. Like, what could I do? And then I'm like, hey, do you know how to convert CSV to XLSXs? And it said, yes, I do. And it gave me another script. So then we scroll down here some more. The first time I did it, I found out that, look, the shipping address had commas in it, right? 473 Dryer Station, comma, West Carroll, comma, West Virginia. I'm like, hey, that messed up my import, right? Your function didn't handle commas in there, even though you escaped it in double quotes. And so it said, oh, my bad. Here you go. To handle double quotes, it gave me another copy of code. I said, thank you. It explains what it's doing. I'm not going to read all that to you. I'm just trying to give you the highlights here. So I'm like, all right, perfect. That works, right? So now I had two different scripts, one that would import CSV data and one that would create a table from whatever data was in the file, right? So I had the two pieces. And so I just said, hey, can you combine these two for me? And it said, sure. There you go. Whole bunch of stuff. And so then I started asking it things like, can it rename the Excel file? It said it cannot. And then it offered me a way to rename the Excel file. Whatever, right, guys? I was just trying to understand what scripts could do. I didn't need its help there. And then I went in here, and so I think we'll stop explaining the ChatGPT conversation at this point. But basically then I said, hey, can it add total rows at the bottom? And so it can, but it can add the total row, but it then was having a hard time finding the column to add the summaries. Like, basically, I went through a whole bunch of iterations here and I gave up, right? Now, to be fair, I probably, if I really cared about solving that problem, I probably could have done my own research and then, spoon-fed it in the answer what I was looking for. But I was like, you know what? It's fine. I don't care. Then I turned on the whole ChatGPT 4 with Canvas. And the reason I turned on the Canvas stuff is I wanted to use their Canvas functionality, right? Because this is a nice code view. You get the line numbers. And then in here, what I did was once I had this open, I was able to select the line. I basically said, I went down here and found where it set the table name, and I highlighted it. And I said, hey, ask ChatGPT, can you make this a variable, an input that I can pass? And so then it rewrote it to be the code that you're seeing now, which is where up here I now have this parameter where that gets input, and then that gets used down here as variable. And there you go. So this is a reminder, right? Like if you're looking at this Excel script stuff and you don't know anything about it, like I didn't, and I still don't, use your tools, ChatGPT, Copilot, Claude, Olama. I don't care what you use. Maybe not Gemini, but it's up to you. Use whatever AI tool that you want, but you can have these conversations because you can build things now that you want to do, right? And so now once I've gotten this written and it's in the Excel file, then if we go back to our flow, all I needed to do here was say, all right, run the script. And so I passed it in, the Excel file, the dynamic file, the run the combined script. And then when it saw the script, it had body and my table name. Now let's give you a bonus tip, right? So this was the tip I wanted to give you when I started down the Excel row video, but this one is really important because you notice here, like I'm using a dynamic file name. And if you use a dynamic file name and I hit the drop down here, it's going to have a tough time, right? So let's just do this. Let's recreate this step. So we're going to say plus, we're going to pin this. Let's use a new little pinned action. There you go. So we're going to do a plus here, add an action, and then we'll say Excel run script. We'll click on that. Okay. And so we're going to put in the same stuff. Power Apps videos right there. Document library. Then we're going to do the same Excel file. And now when we do Excel file, and then for the file, right here we use dynamic content. So I want you to see me using a dynamic content. So we get the little thing. And then here, right from the create file, from template file, we want to use the name of the file or folder, so the body name, okay? Now, when you do this, if you hit the drop down, it may or may not know the pieces down here, right? So people run into this all the time. They try to connect to a dynamic file. So they're making the file portion dynamic. And so the script section, or if you're doing Excel, like the table section, it's not going to populate. So if you ever have this problem, and I realize I'm not having the problem now because Flow is tricking us, pretending like it knows what it's doing. But if you ever have that problem, the key is to change this. Go choose the file. Put the file out there once, right? So I put our template file there, and then you would see all the options here. So in Excel file, you'd see the tables, or in this case, we see the scripts. Then you'd see them. Then it would find the parameters. And so then you would fill these in, right? So then this one's going to be the body from the get the file contents of the CSV. And then this is going to be the input from our my table name, right? The input from the trigger earlier. And then once you have these pieces all filled in, then just right then change this back to actually not be a hard-coded file, but now you can go back to dynamic content body name. And so this is one of the key little mini lessons here is that if you're going to use dynamic stuff, you have to put a solid file there and directly access it, connect, get whatever the table, the script, whatever things you're looking for downwind, fill those all out, and then change this back to your dynamic content or whatever thing you want it to be, right? And that's the important trick. People are like, but I don't have it. You've got to have it first, right? That's why we were looking earlier and you saw I had one of these files this one hard-coded, because when I was doing the test run, the first run, I got to have everything hard-coded. Then once it's all working, then we start adding the dynamic pieces in and it doesn't ask questions, okay? So let's get rid of all this stuff. So that's running the script. Oh, let's delete this before I get angry that this is in my way. And so now that it's a table, right, we can say list rows present in the table, and same thing, file and table name, right? But like I just told you, if you do this, it doesn't know the table names. It can't know the table names because that's not an Excel file. That's just a reference to one. So in our case, it's easy. We said enter custom value, hit the little dynamic arrow there. And then we said the my table name because we're passing a table name, but you've got to be careful there. Also with a date time format, if you're using a CSV and they are date times, right? So which they probably are, and you want to make sure you change this date time format from serial number, which is going to be the default. So that's going to come in as like 43061 or something like that. You want to do ISO 8601. So you do need to check that on your show Excel. But so that would get all the Excel rows out of that file. I threw a compose with a length here. So then that way I could just see that it got 10 rows, make sure that I'm getting what I want, like trust but verify. And then finally down here in the SharePoint create item, right, we fill in the blanks and we just do all the regular update, right? At this point, whatever you know how to do with Excel data, you can do because it's just an Excel table at that point. What? I know. So if you wanted to take that Excel file and ship it off to somebody, go upload it somewhere else, go process it in another system. I don't care what you want to do at this point. The key is that we used our Office script to go from a CSV file to an Excel file to an Excel file with a table. And now the world is our oyster, right? All of those cool little Excel scripts. I think that's all my thing does. Yep. So down here we got terminate. It just ends the flow. When I was messing around, right, at some point I'd ran a script directly from a SharePoint library. That was that OSTS file I showed you earlier. And then of course, at some point I was trying to just use the default create a table action, but the create a table action, right, only works if you know your table range. And there was no way to know my table range from a CSV import. So that's where I then had the idea of Excel scripts. So there are other tools. And speaking of that, like there's probably 12 other ways that you might think of to do this. That's cool. Put them down below, share them with other people. But for me, this was a real eye opener because all the time in my training classes, I get questions from people like, can I do blah, 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 blah with Excel? And usually the answer was no. And now that I understand how these Excel scripts work, I think the answer can be yes a lot more often. So questions, comments, leave them below. Hit the like and subscribe button too. And then, let me know what you got going on. Let me know what you're thinking. I love ideas for videos. I like this one, it was turnkey. I had the idea and here I am recording just the next day. So lots of really, really cool stuff. All right. With that, I'm going to say thanks and have a great day.